Peace Internet, it's me Vonni. Welcome back to Lazy Vlogs. Now this one is going to be quick. I've said that same exact intro like 10 times and none of those videos were quick, but tonight I'm recording in the kitchen and anybody can walk in at any time. So if you know me, these are very personal vlogs. I don't want to be recording with people walking in and out of the house. Also, I'm actually recording in the kitchen because my mother and I have rooms that are right next to each other, and I don't want to be doing vlogs with my deep booming voice that carries through the house. Surely they can hear everything anyway. but yeah, so years ago, 2021, 2022, I remember I made a couple of vlogs, and you guys can check those out, of me going to Hudson Valley Community College, because I thought I wanted to go back to school for science, to be a scientist, specifically to be an astrobiologist, and I didn't run from it because I was afraid of the work that was going to be involved. I just kind of fell away because I think I fell back into smoking weed, and unfortunately, smoking weed is what messes with me beyond anything else. You know, I can't smoke because I just care only about getting stoned and not so much about doing what I have to do to move on with life. So that's just something that I realized is an anchor for me. Some of you guys, if you may remember from years ago, I would go to the Boston Freedom Rally, and in Boston every September, they do like this weed event, the Hemp Fest or whatever, and I made videos, and I traveled to Jersey City for weed events and all that stuff. And I was deep in that world, but just as more time goes on, not only am I 30, but I'm really trying to get closer to Jesus, because that is the way, that's what I believe in, and I know that he doesn't want me to be burning. I said this to my brother recently. I genuinely believe, even though I never took an IQ test, I genuinely believe that God gave me a genius IQ, and I thanked him by getting high for 13, 14 years, which is not good. So that is to say that I know that I'm smart, I know that I can achieve, and, smoking weed from such a young age up until, late 20s, it's not, for me, it's not good. It never helped me to become smarter, more money, more anything. It gave me anxiety, addiction, and problems. Anyway, and yeah, good times with friends and all that, but after a while you realize, you guys may not know this, I've tried quitting weed. I've tried putting down the weed since I was 18. I'm 30. So just so many times I will try to just step away from that, rebuild my life, head in an upward direction, and it'll come in, once I'm starting to do something, and I'll just fall back into being a stoner, and it just isn't for me. It isn't. And I'm okay to say that because I've spent years of being around it, so I know it's not for me. Anyway, so back in 2022, I made a couple of vlogs of me going to Hudson Valley Community College and trying to be an astrobiologist and really loving Neil deGrasse Tyson and all that stuff. And, I figured that could be the path for me. And, met some friends, I was happy, and I fell into the weed, and I just stopped caring about going to class. First, I was sober going to class, then I was smoking doing homework, then I was smoking before or immediately after class, and it was just not good. That's what happens with weed with me. It starts off as a little bit, and then it's daily. Within 48 hours, it's daily. It's so quick. So the reason why I'm making this video is not to talk about weed addiction, because there's plenty of videos of me talking about that over the years. I want to talk to you guys about going back to school. My plan, hopefully, this summer semester is to return to college. I recently did that interview, as you guys know, at a local hospital, and they were doing a hiring event, and I knew that I needed to get into a different field, and I'm happy that I was going for healthcare, and I wanted to do the interview for PCT, and the guy was telling me it might be good for a multi-skilled technician to work in the OR, blah, 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 and I'm getting hyped and excited, and I haven't got a call back about that interview, but I'll be honest with you, I'm happy that I didn't get a call back. I don't need to work in that capacity in the hospital. I think I was aiming low where I should have been aiming up here. So basically, at that interview, there was also a lady from the Belanger School of Nursing, and I had a conversation with her. I actually called her twice today, and we talked about, the prerequisites, the co-requisites, blah, 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 kind of like the path for career for, students who go into the School of Nursing, and then what their student life is like, and the opportunities, and how to help pay for school and all that. And, and I just learned a lot today. I learned a lot. I learned that there is a 2-year program where you can, do your co-requisites alongside the nursing, and you can get the nursing school to pay for your nursing classes and credits. You can get them to pay for your tuition and then you will sign off for a year of work at the local hospital that they partner with. For every year, or for every semester that they cover, that's like you're contracted for a year of work in the capacity of an RN, provided that you complete the 2 years of school and then you pass the NCLEX at the end of the 2 years. So I'm just really, I was so excited hearing about this. I already had a couple of prereqs already, done. Biology, I took IB biology in high school, which was years ago, right? And then, I think it was Algebra 1 or something like that. And they also needed chemistry, which I know I needed to get a better grade in chemistry because I had a 63, so I didn't even pass. And I knew that, okay, so the deadline to sign up for the nursing school, which is having classes in fall 2027, the deadline is January 2027. So between now and then, I have to have those prerequisites completed. And right now, it's almost April, right? So, oh, is that somebody coming in the front door? Very possible. Heard a noise. Well, this is why I don't do vlogs outside of my bedroom. But, so I have a short amount of time to get those prerequisites done. I was calling the colleges and saying, hey, what are my options? Can I get in? Can I get in? Blah, blah, blah. And once I understood what I needed to do, I applied for college earlier tonight, and hopefully within the next period of time, we're going to see if I get accepted, if I can get a schedule for the specific classes that I need to take, the co-requisites that need to be done, for the first semester, obviously the prerequisites to get into nursing school at all, and this summer and fall semester, I can really, all the way until the fall semester of 2027, I can be getting a lot of these classes done, very possibly all of them done. I can get all of the prereqs and co-requisites done, I believe, between now and when nursing school would start. So I'm just kind of okay, wow, so I don't have to wait to get the ball rolling. I can actually start this maybe as soon as summer semester of this year, in a couple months or whatever. So I'm excited about that. Spoke with my mom about it. She's fine with me living here for me doing that. She's like, go right ahead. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. Just giving you guys a little update. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. It may not work exactly how I want it to, but I do have time to figure out a plan, and that's really just what I'm trying to do. Over the past 9 months, I've gone working at a retail store making $16.50 to working at a grocery store. $16.50 was part-time, and then the grocery store I was making $17 to $17.50 with a 50-cent differential on weekends, and that was part-time. And then I ended up so going from $16.50 to $17.50, and then working at now Amazon, where I make $22.50, which within that 9-month period, it's cool. So this guy went from $16.50 to $22.50. That's a $6 increase in, plus it's full time. So it's I'm making moves towards trying to do better, but I ultimately know that Amazon and jobs like that, there's a ceiling that you hit pretty quickly. I would rather just believe that I have the confidence to take on something that's real. No offense, Amazon, people do that, and that's their job for their family, and they take care of their family with that. On a good week, I can make $700, so $700 a week. That's $2,800 a month. If your rent's like $1,200, then you got like $1,600, for food, car, whatever. So it's like it's manageable. You can survive off of that. But as I've chatted with my brothers and friends, there's no need to try to think that there's no space in our lives to think that we can achieve, like great things. For so long I just thought, oh, and I hate to say this, but it has to be, you have to be, like white or like Asian, or you have to be from another country coming here to have this mindset of having to hustle. Like, it was so dumb. I had such a limiting mindset. And I think culture, I think friends, certain friends, just kind of, I let that go into my head. And though I love my grandmother dearly, years ago, she put in my head that I was too old to go back to school. And, that's just her opinion. But, as a lot of you might be able to relate, we really, there's an impact when, our elder people talk to us and our family. It's like, it's hard to ignore that. We used to go to them for wisdom and guidance and whatever. So if they say, this isn't a good path, then you take that to heart, some of us. And that was an issue for me, not to throw her under the bus, but that was an issue for me when I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis when I was 24. And there was like division in the family of, should he take medicine? Should he not? Should he pray more? Like that, it was such a confusion and frustration, and I was lost. I didn't know how to think for myself. And really this impacted me only. So me having body pain and all this stuff, like I needed to be able to take the information and then execute a plan that was educated and going to make me better off, but for too long I relied on, my mother or my stepfather or my grandmother's opinion, to kind of guide and decide what I was going to do. So, so and that's not to say that they never encouraged me to do great things. I just, allowed, sometimes it's easier to be impacted by negative and like closed-minded thoughts than positivity and uplifting. And after a while, even though it'd be great to have people, be your cheerleader 24/7, that's just not reality. And sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader. So I think with sobriety and just with building confidence with different jobs and over time, just accepting like, okay, I deserve better than this. I spent a fair amount of time with certain friends, last year, just really helping them to realize like, hey, you are worth like a ton. You have so much value. Please do not play yourself. You really are amazing. And I share this and I saw they were feeling low and stressed and feeling like their life was whatever, blah, blah, blase, blah, right? And, I realized that in relationships or whatever, I put out what I wish that I could be getting. I put out, that love, that support, that, encouragement, because that's what I've wanted forever. And not that I didn't get some, but I need a heavy dose of it. It really now would help, but certainly in previous years, it absolutely would have helped. But just to kind of wrap this up, because I did say it was going to be short, and we're already going on 14, 15 minutes. So I needed to tell myself that. And now I am telling myself that. And I'm believing, oh, snap, I really am smart. And I really can take on the next challenge. And I just need to apply myself. So we're going to see what happens. I mean, if I don't really see there being any reason why I wouldn't be able to get back into school. Maybe financial aid, maybe they won't want to help me. I don't know. We're going to see. There's options out there. So really it's just a matter of trying and seeing what happens. So it's the same thing like when I tried going for different jobs, when I tried getting into the military recently, I didn't think I was the most qualified person in the world. I just thought this is an opportunity. If I pursue it, I can have a potentially life-changing result. You know, that's really it. And that's the same thing that I'm doing with this path. Now, in the past, I've gone to college for business for a little bit and gone to college for acting, and acting was really fun, to be honest, but it didn't fulfill me like I thought it would. To be it really just didn't. You know, on the surface, acting, oh wow, it's like it sounds all great and fun, and I think as a fun hobby, that's what I would enjoy acting to be, a hobby. You know, to watch theater, to be in a play, like I would enjoy that. But to do it as work, no, that's not what I want to do. It's not, I don't think it ever really was. I just liked saying that to people, which is why I have one IMDb credit and never pursued acting after that. It's just the reality, guys. And I live in upstate New York. I can jump on a Greyhound or a China bus and go down to the city and do 10 auditions if I really wanted to. And I just haven't cared to do it because I just don't really want to do that type of work. But I'm just sharing that so you guys know that there's been kind of like a range of stuff that I tried to do. I was interested in being a scientist for a little bit, you know, but really I see the path and the stability and the potential career options for coming in as an RN with, you know, your associates, right? Becoming a registered nurse already puts me in a different group compared to where I'm at now with just entry-level jobs of doing whatever. It already puts you in a different zone. You know, going back to school, I'm really hoping that I get in. I'm going to try to be like number one in the class. Like, this is to prove that I can do it. This is to prove that I can do more than I've done before, basically. So I'd love to, if I get in, to be number one in the class, if not like number two behind some super genius. I would be okay with that. I just want to take it really seriously and do well because, you know, it's fulfilling work. I'm not selling cigarettes and alcohol and working at a dispensary. I'm not doing that type of stuff where I know that I'm the middleman for, you know, vices and, you know, like selling lottery and stuff at gas stations. Like, that's not something that is fulfilling. It actually feels wrong knowing the damage that that stuff has caused in my life personally. Never mind anybody else in my family. Me personally, it's not something that I could ever be involved in, knowing that how damaging that stuff can be in people's lives. So no, but if I can be on the opposite end of that, where I'm like providing something good, you know, like that's pretty fucking sweet. Like, that's the type of stuff I want to do. Anyway, I'm going to probably get going because I think I've repeated myself a fair amount of times in this vlog. I really do appreciate you guys for checking out the lazy vlogs, and thank you for sticking around, even though I'm changing my name. I'm going from Davon Rabenex. I mean, I'm still Vonni, and then going to I Party with Wolves. Sorry, I'm getting like a call on my screen, so it's like distracting me. I didn't forget I Party with Wolves. That's been a name for a very long time in my heart. But yeah, so please keep your eyes peeled for more content in this next week or so. As soon as I get more updates about what's actually going to happen in my life, you know, with college and work, I'm so happy to share it with you guys, just so you can see things change for me, hopefully for the better. In the past 9 months, they already have in ways that I hoped, and, you know, and things didn't work out necessarily for the military, but that's okay because who knows what's going to happen next. I mean, I could become an RN and then follow up with BSN and go beyond that, become a nurse practitioner, have my own practice. The point is, you know, you can go up and up and up, and you can, you know, learn so many different skills within healthcare and nursing. Like, there's just so many opportunities. You know, I love lab work. Like, there's so many opportunities that exist in this field. So, you know, that's why I'm attracted to it. And I know that I'll be doing a net good for people, and it'll be fulfilling because I know I'm doing something positive. So that's all I got. So really, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next vlog. Until then, peace.